this might be a tough decision right now.
My
but
team
I'm
did
not just
absolutely
Some
garbage.
NFL games that were like,
Right.
whoa.
I actually don't
Had
understand.
a lot of mixed feelings.
Welcome, Disgruntled. We have another guest here on the Legal Domains.
And we're recording. Now, before we get into this topic, because if we talk about the topic that we're about to talk about within the first 30 seconds or a minute, this video will get flagged and I get demonetized, because it's like you can say whatever you want after the minute,
but in this first minute we
Yeah.
have to talk about anything other than our topic.
So I was thinking I will tell a short little anecdote.
Go ahead, you have the floor.
I was listening to this podcast and it made me come up with a story, or think about this story. So when I was younger, my family had a lot of pets. 4 cats, a dog, and a lot of miscellaneous animals. Like, I had a snake at one point. My sister had a turtle. I had 4 lizards. I don't think they lasted a year. I feel like they all died. Well, except for the cats and the dog. They lasted a little bit longer than that.
Okay.
Imagine they're all died. They just all died.
Nobody called PETA. Y'all were in the house what? Getting a new one every year.
Imagine my family's just actual animal abusers and shit.
You just exposed yourself.
But my sister, she had 2 birds, separate times, but she had this one bird, and I don't know what she was thinking. I think she was 15 or some shit, and she was cleaning the cage outside while the fucking bird is still in the cage, and she opened up the fucking,
and
it flew out. And then a couple of days later, newspaper article, someone took a picture of the bird. It was on a power line, and it was lost bird or whatever, and it was our fucking bird. That bird that flew away was in the newspaper.
It never came back though.
Never came back. It was in the newspaper. It never came back.
At least it got some fame before it decided to move on to the next.
He was like, let me just peep this newspaper real quick and buy.
Right. Let me get a little clout before I move on.
Lancaster.
Okay,
I think it's been over a minute, so we can get to the topic that we originally were planning on talking about.
The topic.
So, what is this podcast about?
This podcast is about sex. Sex. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The one thing that your parents told you to never do until you got married, or if you loved the person a lot, or if you didn't have parents who told you that, maybe you told yourself that you're not allowed to have sex until marriage, or you, probably most young adults / teenagers in America, just did it whenever you felt like.
And it's probably why we have a high teen pregnancy rate within the U.S.
Actually, the teen pregnancy rate has gone down.
I stand corrected. I'm actually proud of you, America.
But STD rates are up.
Actually, that's not good.
And that's on poor sexual education in America.
I agree. Temple, one of the most sexually active colleges within the U.S. We be out here fucking.
I don't know. The statistics does not apply to me because, baby, where this is not Temple campus, okay? This is not Temple campus. This is the Josh campus. Josh College is the least. Let me not lie. Let's move on to the. Let's move on.
Maybe it's the next. How many times you had it in the 4-year span that you've been? How the fuck do they know?
How do they know?
He's like,
I guess Barstool.
How do they know?
I don't know.
Are people actually that open? Because I told no one how much times I had sex.
Right. I've never
Like-
seen a survey in my emails,
Yeah,
in my
like-
DMs. I go to Temple. Does my voice not matter?
The fuck is this shit? Maybe it's
Fuck is
like
this shit?
how many condoms or like STD rates, maybe.
Not the
Like-
STD rates.
Like
I
teen
mean-
like pregnancies with on campus or some shit. Because
my
like that's the
God, they
only
track
way
it.
that you could like.
Well, I was just reading on Twitter. Speaking of tracking, I was just reading this thread on Twitter about how, you know how women have apps like Flow to track their menstruation cycles?
Yeah.
Apparently, companies are selling that data, or the people who control those apps are selling the data of women's reproductive cycles to like big corporations. I don't remember why they're doing it, but they was talking about something to do with all the Roe v. Wade stuff and how they're trying to overturn and make abortion illegal.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know.
That's not right.
That is not right. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane. I feel like, I guess at this point in time, any app, anything on your phone, any technology,
True.
you have to like keep in mind that it's going to be tracked. Like there's not
Right.
an aspect of you going on Wi-Fi, like on your computer,
Yeah.
on Google, or like an app, and
Yeah.
you can't expect it not to be tracked.
Right.
Like even if it says that it's
Not being tracked.
it's being tracked because of the fucking, he's gonna read the fucking privacy,
right.
like the fucking
Terms and
12,
conditions.
yeah, like
That's right.
it still doesn't make it right. I'm not saying that it's right or anything, but like
Right.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
but like the whole abortion thing is crazy though. I haven't really been following it, but
Yeah.
it's
I
like,
mean, yeah.
well, I mean, I've been lightly following it, but like I haven't read any articles. Like I
Yeah.
lightly know about it, in which I want to read more about it, but it's all I really know is that they're making it illegal. Is it like across the U.S. or is it in our particular state?
They haven't done it yet. It was just something got out that they were preparing to overturn it, or they were gonna have. It was definitely in question that they were gonna overturn it, but they definitely haven't done it yet. But you know,
Yeah.
that's why everyone's protesting, and there's all
Mhm.
this like public outreach and call to action because they're like, don't let them do that.
Yeah.
Because that'll be terrible. That'll be terrible.
Like
That's so backwards.
why?
Why
That's
would you?
you're literally like controlling someone.
I know.
You're literally-
It's so.
like you can have your beliefs, like religious beliefs or whatever, and think that's wrong or
Yeah.
whatever, but you should at the very least like be
Respect.
pro-choice. You should be at the very least pro-choice.
Yeah.
Like even though it may not follow your guidelines, then you may never like,
right.
all right, I'm never going to get an abortion or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I'm a man, but I'm like
Right.
speaking
right,
as a
right.
woman or whatever, but like you can't, yeah, sure, you may not never or agree with getting an abortion, and you may think that's wrong or whatever, but
Mm.
like like it should be at least like pro-choice, you know? It's like, all right,
Yeah.
I understand like it's not something that I believe goes against my religion or whatever,
Right. Right.
but it's like, why are you trying to control other people? Because like your religious aspect is a choice in itself, and you should like
Yeah.
recognize like, all right, I'm making the choice not to have an abortion or not to agree
Right.
with that,
Right.
but you shouldn't like put that
Project that.
choice onto others,
Yeah.
because it's like, I don't know, I just don't understand
Yeah.
why people won't be pro-choice. Like
Agreed.
you may not agree with it, but it's like at least from like a woman's perspective or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
like you should at least agree with pro-choice and be whatever,
Yeah.
like be able to do whatever that person feels comfortable and doing with.
I agree.
Mm.
Also, women having reproductive rights, very crucial in them being able to have any like social or career mobility at all. Because I mean, not that you can't exist as a woman and have children and still build a life for yourself outside of that. But we can't deny that it's very difficult for you to literally raise a whole human being and ensure that they get everything they need while also following your own goals and your own motivations and your own desires. So it's like you're putting women in a very vulnerable position by not giving them access to this thing. Like, it's just so backwards.
Yeah.
It's just so backwards. Like, I know contraceptives are still, widely available. And even then, like, contraceptives and feminine hygiene products are still, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just access. Access matters.
I agree. And it's not like there's law, like, it's not like we're saying, like, all right, after, I feel like we both agree, you can say whatever, but it's like saying, like, we're pro-choice. It's not like we're saying, like, all right, after 8 months of pregnancy, like, you still have, like, the choice. Like, I feel like there should be, like, somewhat of a regulation. 8.5, like, 9 months into the pregnancy. Like, I feel like that's like that's like almost, that's like
weeks.
what?
Wait.
No, I meant like
8.5.
months. Like,
Oh, yeah,
like people
yeah.
showing,
Oh.
people showing like fucking get an abortion at like 8 months in. Like, what? Like, I feel like we're not saying like
Right.
like women should get an abortion at like almost like
Right.
newborn, because it's like it's almost like it's basically a fetus
Exactly.
at that point,
As
all,
a human.
like I feel like we can
Yeah.
all kind of like have a base value of like, all right, 8-9 months in,
Right.
that's kind of wrong or messed up, because it's like it's
Yeah.
practically like a baby at that point.
You
It's
might as
like
well just
like you might as well just like
have the
birth it and then
baby.
adopt it. But it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like there should too, because I feel like some states that are legal,
Mhm.
it's only like a month and a half or some shit. It's
Yeah,
like 6 or
yeah.
8 weeks or whatever. I may
Yeah.
be wrong with that, but it's like very like, it's very short.
Restricted.
It's very
Or,
like
yeah.
short, or like a
Yeah.
short amount of time, because it's like you're not going to know if you're pregnant or not until at least a month. Women have like periods every single month, and then like
Mhm.
if they don't have like a period for that month,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh wait, then we should probably go get a pregnancy test. And it takes like at least a month to realize, or
Right.
like a month and a half to realize that, oh crap, I'm pregnant. Like,
Mhm.
all right, we should probably, like, what do you want to do with this? And it's
Yeah.
still, you should still have a grace period, because I feel like it's still like like a big decision to make. It's like, I feel like that's also like a misconception too, because like I feel like lawmakers are like, or people who are like anti-abortion are just like, oh, people are just like willy-nilly like having abortions like left and right. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like so much
Right.
fun to have.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's still like a hard decision to make, like, regardless, I feel.
Agreed.
And yeah, I feel like there should be like enough grace time to allow the person to realize that they're pregnant and have a grace period of like making that decision.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I feel like, I don't know what that time would be. I think like I heard some people say like maybe 4 or 5 months in, maybe
Yeah.
at the most.
Yeah.
Some people I heard like 6 months into
Yeah.
it. Like if you start like at the beginning of the third trimester,
Yeah.
like that's like the latest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
You
then
can
it's
go.
like getting into like becoming an actual like human being.
Yeah.
But like fucking this like a month, like 2 or 3 months, and it's just like, it's like a fucking little pebble. Like, it's not like
A
what the
clump of cells.
yeah, it's like just a group of cells. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I remember watching this YouTube video of like somebody commenting on a Jubilee video where they do like the
Mhm.
like not the one where you're standing on the lines,
Mhm.
but like you have to pick a side
Mhm.
or whatever. And it was pro-choice versus pro-life. And I don't know, the one thing I took away from that video was just how, I mean, if we want to get into nuance, it's just the fact that it's so personal, I think makes it hard for people to find any sort of common ground. Because in that video, you had people who were a failed abortion. You had people who had experienced an abortion and were still pro-life. It's like there's a lot of unique situations within the bigger collective that's happening. But I don't know. I think that's just when human empathy steps in, and it's like, all right, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from, but what's the priority and what's really the most important thing for everyone going forward, I would say that's just freedom and independence as a human being and the right to choose, especially as a woman, what you want to do with your body and how you want to exist in your body and what you want to do to it. But other people may disagree.
I agree. Now again, this is like coming from a man's perspective, but I feel like it's like we're both men, so we can't like relate. But I feel like it's like even if you're a man, you should still think like. I feel like regardless, I feel like pro-choice makes the most sense.
Right.
Out of anything, like.
Right. Out of
like,
anything to choose.
Yeah, like why the fuck are you going to try to control a fucking woman? Like,
yeah, no.
Like, why are you trying to control a woman that much?
Right.
It like.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's very controlling and stuff. And then like I saw one clip from the courtroom about like making a decision or whatever, and listening to there's like one blurb on like a highlight on TikTok or whatever, and the one person who was, I don't know how to, was in support of pro-life, no, not pro-life, pro-choice, was trying to, or is trying to stop like the making it like abortion's illegal. Like they're like pro-choice movement, and one of their like arguments too, which is like very valid, and this just was like is beyond me of how you can like just have this reaction to after someone says this. But he basically said like, what if 13-year-old like little girl or like a little girl in general like got R word and then ended up like getting pregnant from that? Would you not want to have like that baby aborted option or like if like a family member R word like that like little girl or whatever, like why wouldn't, like I feel like that's like one of like the most like, you may be like pro-life or pro-life, you have to have at least some sympathy in that regard, or just like any R word victims in general. It doesn't have to be on the younger side. Like if an R word victim ends up getting like pregnant from that, it's like absolutely not her choice whatsoever. Like she did not want to get pregnant. Like she did not want to have that like sexual encounter at all with that random person. Like that's like the most like forced thing to happen. Like at least like sympathize and be like, all right, like maybe like in that situation, if that situation did play out, only in that situation we would allow like abortions. The person who like replied to that is like, nope, like no, we're not, that's still, it's not right. I'm like, he didn't even fucking like show any remorse. He was like straight like, nope. And no, it was a woman too. She said that it was like a woman like said no, like that's not right. Like abortion shouldn't be legal. It's just crazy, some people.
This is a very long tangent.
Yes. What the fuck did we even?
I mean, it was kind of on theme.
Like
very loosely. Loosely.
What do you mean on theme? Like, how the fuck are you supposed to get a baby? What leads up to baby?
True.
Well,
True.
Maybe a little bit off topic, but that got a little. How the fuck should I like title this? Cause like if I title it,
and then
it's immediately red.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, wait, should we switch topics for like 5 minutes and be like, all right, this is the main focus, or should we just continue talking about sex? Just be like,
whatever you want to do.
Let's just, I don't know. Should we just clickbait it?
Care.
Like, all right, all right. I'm just gonna stop. This is only going to be like a 30-minute podcast. I'm not trying to fucking waste 5 minutes. But what were we talking about the last podcast towards the end of it? Because we watched like relationships.
Oh, just give and take the general intricacies of being in a partnership with another human being.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on that? Because like I don't know,
Do you have
because
any final thoughts?
like the camera cut off right when I was speaking at least.
True.
But I don't know if like that conversation was like wrapping up or towards the end. Or do you want to like have any more insights on that? I hope you know I'm zooming in on your face. I need to.
Good. I'm trying to give you as much material as possible.
Thank you.
I just don't have anything in my brain. Maybe a question would be good to get the brain juices flowing.
Yes. Do you want to? All right. First question. Do you want to continue on the path of relationships, or should we switch topic to a different topic in the sex realm, like we did with abortions a couple of seconds ago?
Let's switch topics.
Okay, trying to think of. I feel like sex is such a broad topic that can
That's so
lead in
true.
so many different things, but I'm just blanking on questions.
I'm gonna Google questions about sex
Google.
that are appropriate
How to have kids.
enough. What is sex?
Why does sex exist, and what is its purpose?
Yes.
Because we answered what sex means to us last episode. I think
Okay.
Are you got a question?
Yeah, actually, I pulled up 11 sex questions for couples who want to know one another. So we're about to get real close, Caleb.
Okay.
First question.
Yeah.
What does intimacy mean to you?
Sex.
Yes.
All the intimacy that I need
Yes.
is just fucking
Sex.
24/7.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like you can be. I don't think it's exclusive or inclusive to just sex. I feel like you can, or at least for me, I feel like you can be intimate in many different ways
Mm-hmm.
that aren't having sex. And now I'm not
Mhm.
saying that sex is very intimate. Like, I feel like that's one of the most intimate things that you can do with another human being, because I feel like that's the most vulnerable that you are with another human being, because like you're not going around and like seeing like everyone naked, you know, like everyone's like fully clothed
True.
at all time, like we have like our bathing suits and stuff, but it's not like fully naked or whatever, so we're not seeing like everything all the time. And within our society, like just being naked is very just like, I don't know, not frowned, like private, and you just don't see like a lot of naked people just walking around. Like, so for those reasons, I think it's one of the most intimate things that a couple can do, just because of how vulnerable they are. But I feel like you can also be intimate within the types of dates you go on, the only things that you share with that other person that you don't do with other people.
Yeah.
Like whether that's like the obvious things like touch, like holding hands, like arm around the other person when you're like cuddling, etc. Like those can be intimate things, but like I don't know how you talk with them, like what you tell them, like secrets, because I feel like you tell that other person knows basically everything about you, like all of your ins and outs, all of the secrets. Like that's the first person that you want to go tell your secret to, or at least that's kind of how I view like relationships or whatever. And I feel like that's another like intimate aspect is like you're only there for that person, and you only tell them like the most secretive stuff.
Yeah.
And you only tell like that person only knows like the most about you.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can have other people that know a lot about you, and I'm not saying like your significant other should be the only person that you tell secrets to, and is the only person that you tell like stuff to. But I don't know. I just feel like an aspect is just like telling stuff that you don't normally tell other people, or is more comfortable in telling and opening up about those things.
Right.
Like, because you may open up to like multiple other people and tell like other people what's going on, and that's like healthy because you don't want to put like all of your stress, if it's like emotional anxieties onto that one person.
Yeah.
But even like lighthearted like secrets about like other people and stuff, like it's good to like talk to other people about that and stuff. But I feel like it's like your significant other is like the first person, for me at least, that I would want to tell something juicy. Or but like I feel like intimacy as that too.
Yeah.
And other like little like things that you don't
Elements.
deal with other friendships or like other family members or
Yeah, I feel like I mean I always feel like you can feel levels of intimacy within your friendships, even. At least that's the thing I've been trying to practice, because I feel like I had a very deep craving for a relationship. Pretty much, well, it didn't start until I hit college for some reason. I don't know, because I think I denied myself in high school. I can't remember if I'm repeating myself, because I think I talked about this in the other podcast. But I remember when I was in high school, I completely I was like, that's never going to happen for me. Like, I'm not going to have a relationship. No one's ever going to see me like that or want that from me. Not that I even really wanted that either. I don't know. It didn't really matter what I wanted, because I didn't think it was possible. So I kind of just, it wasn't even a thought in my brain. But then I got to college, and I think just the environment and the fact that I was starting over and I could sort of rebuild myself, I thought that I would have an opportunity to make a connection like that. But I think what I really just wanted was a real deep sense of intimacy with somebody, and to experience being seen by someone and heard by someone and loved by someone. Then I realized 3-4 months ago that you can do that same thing with your friends. Yeah. So I feel like intimacy, of course, I think you can experience varying degrees, like I said, depending on the level or the kind of partnership you have with somebody. But I think for me, it's just a feeling of closeness with another person, a sense of trust and love that I know is reciprocated by the other person. And trust is really important for me, because I don't think it's easy for me to trust other people, especially with stuff that I hold inside. So the people that I do talk to and I choose to tell things to, that's where the intimacy starts for me, because then I feel a sense of closeness to you that I'm not getting from other people. And so, yeah, you can have that. I feel like you can have that with your friends, with your family, with, your mentors. But I feel like in a romantic context, if I was with somebody, what intimacy would feel like for me in that partnership would be like a bonding of souls. Like our soul, I would feel such a inner sense of like you are my person, like you are my partner, like I'm with you through the thick and thin, like to the end, like you're my life partner. I feel like that inner knowing would create true intimacy for me, and like a partnership with another person. Perfect timing.
Yes. I mean, I agree. I mean, I restarted it, but we don't have to like continue conversation here. But like, cause like I didn't want to stop you mid thing, but I just wanted to say that like I do agree with that, with everything that you said too. And I guess I was approaching it more of on the romantic side too. I never really thought about it with a friendship side either. But I think I would kind of alluded to it as well with sharing with other people too, as what I was kind of the intimacy past the relationship part too, I guess. But yeah, because I feel like you go to different people for different things, just like you go to your partner for certain things, but you might go to your friends for another. So like it's all intimacy, it's just it looks different, so it's not that easy to find the commonalities, but they're there.
they're there.
Would you tell your partner other things that you wouldn't tell other people? Like, would you tell them like your deepest of secrets? And would that be like an act of intimacy, or would you keep that aspect like open to your closest friends as well?
I think it would just depend. Well, one, I don't think I know. I don't think I know how to answer that question right now.
It could be
Two,
both too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know, cause I feel like right now, I think there are things that I know that people can give me, and so I go to them for that. And I try and keep an open mind even with that maybe there are other avenues or more space for roots to grow even deeper within those friendships. But I feel like if I was in a partnership with somebody, I would just, I don't know. Because, I mean, I guess I tell them, I don't think I'd tell them everything, right? Some things are just for me, and some things are just for the homies or the girlies.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I'd just be pick and choosy.
Yeah, I guess what's the most intimate relationship or aspect of a relationship that's like your partner, not friendship?
Oh, sex.
Yeah.
Definitely the sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not out here having sex with my friends, you know?
Yeah.
That would be the most.
I mean, are you sure?
Right now? Right now?
Becomes porno.
No.
That was a joke.
But yeah, I feel like that would be the step for me. That would be like, we're like, this ain't we're not messing around. Like we're in it. But at the same time, like, I could see myself, I think sex will always be an intimate act for me. I don't think I'll ever be able to say it's not. Therefore, but at the same time, like, I don't see everybody I have sex with as like a candidate for a very intimate relationship.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like some people, I don't know.
I think I know what you're saying. Because,
Yeah.
like, it's an intimate act, but it's not like you're going to be best friends
Right.
forever, or going to be, like,
Yeah.
like, going to be spending the rest of your lives together, like, all right,
Right.
marriage afterwards, or, like,
Right.
relationship for, like, 5 years afterwards. Like,
Mhm.
you can only see that person. I feel like you can have various degrees of intimacy, but that doesn't mean that relationship is going to continue past that point in time.
Yeah. Exactly.
I kind of view it like with a friendship too, because it's like you have multiple friends throughout your life. Like, it's very rare. I feel like you lose friends and you gain friends too. I mean,
Yeah.
you may have like a few people that are constant, but like with those friends you go through like levels of intimacy and too.
Yeah.
And it's not like that friendship continues forever,
Yeah.
And I kind of just view that with sex too. It's just you're being a little bit more intimate.
Right.
Depending on how, I don't feel like you need to like know that person wholeheartedly or even know the person at all before you have sex either. Like with the hookup culture too nowadays as well, like I feel like you can still have that intimate act and still be called an intimate act and have that very personable like to you and very like, I don't know, very intimate to yourself, but still have like one night stands or like flings or whatever and still have that very intimate and very like personable to you too. Because it's like an act that, like you said, you're not sharing with everyone, and it's not you're not sharing with your friends,
Yeah.
like, or fucking incest and your family members. It's like like you're definitely not sharing that aspect of intimacy with them. But I don't know, because it's like even within friendships too, you explore intimacy, different levels of intimacy with them as
That's
well.
true.
Because like you have different friendships, like you're going to be more vulnerable with said person more than you are with another said person, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like kind of what we were talking about, like inner circle, outsider circle, with that one
Right.
conversation that we had with or Brendan.
Yeah.
Maybe Titus was within that conversation.
I don't
Maybe
remember.
I don't remember. I remember the conversation with Brendan, but I don't know if
Yeah.
Titus was within that conversation at all. But yeah, just feel like you can be as intimate as you want with other people, but it doesn't matter the duration of how. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Relationships are weird.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been trying to approach any relationship. I feel like for a large majority of my life, when I'm thinking about how I'm relating to other people, I think I used to stress a lot about how I was showing up and how I was presenting myself. And lately, I've been trying to balance it out more, so I'm focusing on what energy we're creating between each other and whether I like that or not, whether I want to feed that, what that looks like in this setting, what that looks like in this setting, what that looks like when we're on drugs, what it looks like when we're drinking. Like, I feel like I'm just trying to focus on like how what I bring to the table meets what you bring to the table and make something completely new.
Yeah.
And that's why, I don't know, that makes my friendships even feel more intimate, even just amongst the bulls, because every member is a different, every member. Every roommate is a different vibe, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like, what happens when we come together? What do we talk about? What do you bring out in me? What do I bring out in you? And how can I use that energy to benefit the both of us in a really fulfilling way?
Yeah.
So that we're both happy, we're both satisfied, we're both, communicative.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a two-way street too with friendship as well. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to be vulnerable or intimate with your friendship or like with any like bull, like you said it perfectly. Like we all have like different interactions or whatever,
Right.
and different levels of friendship. Not saying that like the friendships that I have with every like different bull members is like stronger or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like basic, relatively the same like line, which is like really high. But it's like I approach like what you said, each friendship that I have with a bull differently. But it's like if I'm going to be vulnerable to said bull, I know what I'm going to get in return.
Yeah.
And like I know that they're going to when I be that level of intimacy or a little level of vulnerable, I know that I'm going to get that same energy in return, you know?
Right.
Because I know that I can be like in a vulnerable state and them also be in that vulnerable state too. It's not like a one-way street where I'm always constantly being vulnerable and they're not giving anything, you know? Because I feel like that's not how a friendship works.
True. Yeah, Titus literally told me that. Like, I don't remember. Like last semester. It was last semester. It was them last semester. Cause somehow you were there in the room too. I'm pretty sure we were talking about vulnerability and how he just approaches it like he gives it without expecting anything in return, and sometimes you'll get something back. And when I first heard him say that, I think there was definitely some resistance within me, just because I've spent so long trying to hold things in and being very picky and choosy about who I tell things to, and feeling this level of possessiveness over my secrets. I don't know. I'm practicing what he said now, and I'm like, I don't know. He was just ahead of me. He beat me.
Yeah.
He got there before I did. bitch. Titus, if you're listening.
Yeah, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Titus is a whole ass bitch.
He is a whole ass bitch.
But yeah, going back to like intimacy too,
Mm-hmm.
with like having sex too,
Mm-hmm.
like I like thought of another like example that how you can be like intimate with like a stranger and not have it like become a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like at a party or something and then you like
Yeah.
you're dancing with people and stuff, that can be intimate. Like you're dancing
Yeah.
with, that's like an intimate like act.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may not be the most intimate act,
Yeah.
like comparatively to sex,
But
I feel like it's pretty like kind of intimate.
I mean, even just talking
Talking to
somebody
a
is really
stranger.
intimate. Yeah.
But I feel like at a house party too, like a college
Yeah.
party, and if you like have to go puke, and then like you run to the bathroom and someone
Yeah.
like, oh my god, is that person okay?
Right.
And they like help you like puke and like you have an intimate
right.
like moment in the bathroom where you're
Mhm.
helping that person like puke,
Yeah.
like just make sure that they're all right. That's a
Right.
very intimate act too,
Right. Right.
And I feel like people have those intimate acts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I feel like when you hear sex, it's like, oh my god, that should be like but yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. The taboo. Yeah. It's very. I try to remind myself that we're just living in a time, and the time has set certain rules about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. But if you're living in, I don't know. I literally don't know because I don't have like any reference in my head. But sex was more acceptable at certain periods within our own history as humans. I'm sure the cavemen weren't that shy about, So it's just like, I don't know. I'm always just like, if there were just slight changes in where we came from, we would be approaching this topic in a very different way.
Yeah. That's a weird thing about time.
Yeah.
Any little thing can change history drastically.
Right.
Like imagine if something slightly differently happened about sex and you would just be like everyone's having sex like constantly. It's like and like it's such like a like loose thing too. Like everyone just like talks about it like loosely and everyone's just like, I don't know, like it's like a part of a friendship. What if it became part of a friendship too? It's not even like a romantic aspect.
Sex rights.
Just like imagine just like you just have like that's a normal occurrence, like going out to a bar. Like it's that like it's like that like fucking normal
and
sex.
You see someone.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, you want to have sex? That's
so
like a
crazy.
friendly. It's like, oh my god, yeah, sure. It's like a friendly like way to like fucking.
Right. That
Yeah.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And you just like see fucking people having sex like in the bar and be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Go on. Imagine that'll be a crazy universe.
That would be crazy. But I hate all the like. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes when you're trying to get there, you have to like play all these games and do all these things. I'm just like, if people know what you want from the other person.
Dating apps. Dating apps.
Yes, Caleb. Yes. Even that.
I mean, like, yeah. Like with Tinder or Grindr, just be like, yo, you want to fuck? You'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. But
yeah, I guess I literally had no experience. I guess there's like still like you fucking have to like be like,
yeah.
hey,
I mean, I'm being annoying because there's gonna be some level of work involved, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter how direct you are, you still gotta get there. And take the clothes off and go through the, the physical.
I've never like gone through this, and this may be too personal. Like you don't have to answer this, but like, what's the fastest way that you've gotten into sex?
Online.
No, but like what, like like online, it's like, oh hey, how are you, like, or is it more like direct, like, all right, like if you like match with someone, it's like you just say like.
Well, I've only had sex with people through Grindr, and that's just like, it just depends on their vicinity. Because if they're close by, like, you can get there in 2 seconds, or if they're mobile, they have a car, they can get to you in any amount of time. So it just depends.
Nice. Well, I guess more of like, you know how like introducing yourself and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like how, or is it just like more direct? It's like, all right, like we basically like, all right, like there's no need for this. Like we both know why we're on this
Yeah.
app, you know?
Well, everyone's different, because I feel like I've been in situations where it's like no words necessary and we're just right into it.
Mm.
And other times people want to be more, they want to like sit you down and have a conversation, and then you move to, you know, wherever you need to go to get things done.
Yeah.
But just depends on the person. I like a conversation. I like a good warm up before we. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends. I don't know. Because if I was in the club and that happened, then it'd be like, oh, we're really in the heat of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's on Grindr, it's like you get to the person's house or they get to your house, and then it's like, oh, let's. It'd be awkward. It'd be awkward sometimes for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it's easier to do it at like a club.
Yeah.
And the bar, because it's like.
The environment.
Yeah, because it's like I feel like there's a basis of like, all right, mostly everyone here is like kind of a little bit horny, and it's like
Right.
or a lot horny, and it's like, all right, like may not be the main focus of why you're going there, but there's a little focus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah,
It can be a bonus.
Yeah, but yeah. So should we have another part, or should we? Is this?
I'm fine wrapping it up here.
Yeah.
TBH.
This was a good part 2. And end of the series of sex.
Oh my god, guys.
End of series of sex?
Now there will be a part 3.
Will there be a part 3?
There will be a part 3.
Alright, there will be a part 3.
Not on YouTube though.
Pornhub. That's all we're saying.
Listen.
So
We're not saying it's gonna be Pornhub, but
yeah.
we're not saying it's
or maybe you just have to pay a little fee on OF.
Oof. Just a little $5. You can subscribe
Like, catch me at
$5 a month.
look. It's only $5 a month.
only
If
$5.
Catch Me Outside Girl can make $50 million a year, then
Come on.
showing some boobs, then what? Come on.
What can we accomplish together? What can you help us accomplish? You're a fool.
Why?
Because you just didn't. I didn't do it. So I played you. I got you. I fooled you. I
That was
tricked
an
you.
intimate view. That was an intimate moment in our friendship.
All right.
That was an intimate moment in our
Okay,
friendship.
Do we need to have a conversation?
Yes, we do need to have a conversation.
Okay, how do you
because
feel about the fact that I just played you?
pretty shitty, not gonna lie. It's like I feel like that's like you're in my inner circle. Now you're like a couple steps out of the inner circle. You know, that's like how mental that moment was. Like, just don't play with my emotions.
You're
like
not
that.
gonna ask how I feel though.
I don't care.
That's intimacy, guy.
That's
In
the
a
definition of abortion.
In a nutshell, yeah.
That's how people view abortion, or that's the
True.
relationship. Men,
Exactly.
women want rights. Men say, I don't care. No.
Silly women thinking you can do whatever you want with your bodies.
Bro, you know what's weird? I'm in the other corner of the room right now, but they can hear me like if I was sitting right there.
So crazy.
Yeah.
That's the power of technology for
Yeah.
you. Oh my god. I'm gonna
Yeah.
also leave the frame. I'm gonna go over here. Oh.
See, what if we just had a podcast like this?
That'd be such a good idea. Can we do like a mock intro right now?
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast.
Hey
What-
guys.
What do you want to talk about this podcast?
Wow, we should talk about how comfortable these chairs are.
Oh my god, like these chairs are so comfortable
These
right
chairs
now.
are so comfortable. I'm so glad we got those invisibility pills.
Yeah. Yo, we're really still right now. Like,
We're
what the fuck?
so still.
We're not even like. I'm looking at the camera right now, and we're not even moving.
Whoa, we're not moving at all.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
I know.
we're like, we should go on like some like show where we're
Yeah.
ninjas, because like,
Yeah.
literally you can't be seen.
Exactly. That's so. Let me get closer to the camera and see if we can.
Oh my god, we're like right in front of the
We're
camera.
right in front of the camera. That's so crazy.
Oh my god, this is
Oh my god.
this is so whack.
Wow.
Science. Damn. Number one podcast right here.
You know what this makes me think about?
No.
Makes me think about sex.
And how we
And how that's what we do every time we're together.
yes.
Yes. We're
To
having
put-
sex right now.
To put that in perspective, we see each other every single day.
Sometimes multiple times a day.
That's a mic drop moment right there. I'm putting the mics down. I literally didn't catch it.